Hello dear travellers, welcome to this haven of rest and wonder. I'm so glad you found your way here tonight. Leave behind the weight of the day, the racing thoughts, the endless lists and worries that chase each other through your mind. Tonight you need to carry nothing at all. Tonight you are simply here, in this moment, breathing slowly and softly, letting yourself settle into comfort and peace. The world outside can wait. Everything that needs doing will still be there tomorrow. But for now, for these precious hours of darkness, you belong to the realm of dreams. You belong to rest. So take a deep breath with me now, filling your lungs slowly, gently, and then releasing that breath as if you're releasing every tension, every tightness, every small anxiety that's been clinging to your shoulders. Good. That's good. Feel yourself sinking deeper into wherever you rest tonight. Whether it's the softness of your bed, the cradle of your favourite chair, or any place you've chosen to pause and be still. Your body knows what to do. It knows how to rest, how to repair, how to dream. All you need to do is let it. All you need to do is close your eyes and trust that sleep will find you, as it always does, like an old friend returning home. Now as you breathe slowly, I want you to imagine something beautiful, right there. Just beyond your closed eyelids, a soft silver light begins to appear. It's not harsh or bright, nothing that would startle or strain. No, this is the gentlest glow imaginable, like moonlight filtered through the layers of silk, like the first star appearing in a twilight sky. The light shimmers and dances, forming itself into a path, a trail of silver dust that glitters and beckons. This path is meant for you. It has always been meant for you. It winds away from the ordinary world, away from the tick of clocks and the glare of screens, away from all the noise and haste of waking life. It leads somewhere else entirely, somewhere you may have been before, in half-remembered dreams, or somewhere utterly new and waiting to be discovered. Either way, it calls to you now, with a silent invitation, a gentle pull toward rest and wonder. You find yourself rising, not with your physical body, but with that lighter, freer part of yourself that travels in dreams. Your dream self, if you will. That essential you that isn't bound by gravity or walls or the rules of the everyday. This part of you steps onto the silver path, and the moment your feet touch that glittering trail, you feel a wave of tranquility wash over you. Your breathing deepens. Your heartbeat steadies into a slow, peaceful rhythm. Every muscle in your body releases just a little bit more. The path stretches ahead, winding through a soft darkness that isn't frightening at all. It's the comfortable darkness of closed curtains and downy blankets, of safe spaces and sanctuary. As you walk, small points of light begin to appear around you, gentle and warm, like fireflies drifting through a summer garden. They float lazily through the air, their glow pulsing in time with your breath. In and out, a slow dance of light and shadow, guiding you forward, deeper into this space between waking and dreaming. You walk without effort. There is no strain, no heaviness in your limbs. Each step feels lighter than the last, as if you're learning to float, to drift, to let yourself be carried by the current of this enchanted night. The silver path seems to know exactly where you need to go. It curves and meanders, always gentle, never steep, taking you on a journey that feels both purposeful and perfectly, wonderfully aimless. And then gradually, as if emerging from a soft fog, the landscape around you begins to take shape. You find yourself entering a valley unlike any you've seen before. The ground beneath your feet, or rather beneath your drifting dream feet, is covered in moss so soft it could be cloud stuff, so deep and lush it holds the memory of every peaceful sleeper who has ever walked here. The moss glows faintly with its own inner light, a pale green luminescence that pulses slowly, gently, like the breathing of the earth itself. Trees rise around you, but they're not quite like ordinary trees. Their trunks are smooth and silvery, and their leaves seem to be made of something between foliage and mist, between substance and light. When the breeze moves through them, and there is always a breeze here, soft and warm as a sigh, the leaves create a sound that's half rustle and half melody. It's as if the trees themselves are singing you a lullaby, an ancient song without words, older than language, speaking directly to that part of you that knows how to rest. Scattered throughout the valley, floating at various heights, are orbs of misty light. Some drift close to the ground, rolling gently through the glowing moss. Others hover at eye level, popping slowly as if suspended on invisible waves. Still others float high above, mingling with what might be stars or might be more of these gentle lights. It's impossible to say, and it doesn't matter. Each orb pulses with its own rhythm, its own colour, some pale blue like dawn, some soft gold like candlelight, some gentle lavender like twilight, some rosy pink like the inside of a seashell. As you stand there, taking in this extraordinary valley, you become aware of sounds beyond the singing trees. There are chimes somewhere in the distance, wind chimes perhaps, but their notes are deeper and more resonant than any you've heard before. They ring out at long intervals, each note hanging in the air for what seems like ages, slowly fading until you're not sure if you're still hearing it or just remembering its echo. The sound is impossibly soothing, as if each chime stroke is smoothing away a wrinkle in your thoughts, calming some small eddy of worry or restlessness. And there are other sounds too, layering beneath and around the chimes and the tree song. The distant murmur of water flowing somewhere out of sight, speaking in that ancient language that all streams and rivers know. The occasional soft call of a night bird, not harsh or alarming but gentle and somehow reassuring, a sound that says all is well, all is peaceful, rest now, rest. The whisper of the warm breeze itself, carrying with it the scent of flowers you can't quite name, blooms that are only open in dreams, releasing their perfume to guide sleepers home to rest. As your eyes adjust to this realm of soft lights and gentle sounds, you notice something else. There, at the far end of the valley, rising from the luminous moss and surrounded by those drifting orbs of light, sits a hill. But this isn't just any hill. It glows from within, as if the earth itself here is made of compressed starlight, of crystallized moonbeams, of solidified dreams. The glow is warm and welcoming, pulsing slowly like a heartbeat, and you find your own heartbeat beginning to match its rhythm. Slow, steady, peaceful, safe. Atop this glowing hill, nestled perfectly into its rounded summit, as if it grew there naturally, sits a cottage. But calling it simply a cottage doesn't quite capture what you're seeing. Yes, it has the cosy proportions of a cottage, with warm light glowing in its windows and smoke curling gently from its chimney. But there's something more to it, something magical and impossible. The walls seem to be made of gathered twilight, solid yet somehow translucent, shifting through shades of deep blue and soft purple and gentle grey. The roof is thatched not with straw but with what appears to be woven moonbeams, silver and white and faintly luminous. The windows of the cottage glow with a warmth that speaks of hearth fires and candles, of safety and welcome and peace. The light that spills from those windows doesn't simply illuminate the hill around the cottage. It seems to have weight and substance, pulling on the ground like liquid gold, flowing down the slopes of the hill in gentle rivulets, spreading through the valley like a blessing. Just looking at that light makes you feel more relaxed, more at peace, more ready to let go and drift into the deepest rest. The silver path you've been following leads directly to this cottage, winding up the glowing hill in a gentle spiral. You find yourself walking again, your dream feet carrying you forward without any effort on your part. As you climb, and it doesn't feel like climbing at all, more like floating upward, being lifted, the air around you seems to grow even warmer, even more welcoming. The floating orbs of light gather around you as you walk, as if they're accompanying you, as if they're honoured to guide you to this special place. With each step higher up the glowing hill, you feel yourself releasing more of whatever you've been carrying. Tension you didn't even know you were holding melts away. Thoughts that were circling your mind like restless birds settle down to roost. Worries that seemed so important just hours ago fade and diminish until they're barely whispers, and then they're gone entirely, dissolved in the warm glow of this enchanted place. By the time you reach the top of the hill, you feel lighter than you have in ages, unburdened, free, ready for whatever gentle magic awaits you here. The cottage door is before you now. It's carved from dark wood that seems to contain entire forests, entire night skies, entire dreams within its grain. Set into the door is a knocker shaped like a crescent moon, and as you reach out to touch it, you notice that your hand, your dream hand, is slightly translucent, glowing faintly with its own inner light. You've become part of this realm now, woven into its magic, and it feels absolutely right. But before you can knock, the door swings open on its own, silent and smooth, welcoming. The light from within washes over you, and it's not just light, you realise. It carries warmth, yes, but also a feeling, an emotion, a sense of being welcomed home after a long journey, of being recognised and valued and invited to rest. You step inside, crossing the threshold from the glowing hill into the cottage, and the world shifts around you in the gentlest possible way. The interior of the cottage is larger than the outside suggested, but not in any way that feels wrong or disorienting. It simply is. The way things are in dreams, where space and size are fluid and meaningful rather than fixed and measured. The main room you've entered is circular, its walls lined with shelves that stretch up into shadows. But these shelves don't hold books, though there are a few ancient tomes scattered here and there. Instead, they hold bottles and jars of every size and shape imaginable, each one glowing with its own soft light, each one containing what appears to be captured starlight or crystallized moonbeams, or condensed clouds or bottled auroras. The floor beneath your feet is made of smooth, dark wood that reflects the lights around the room like still water, creating the impression that you're walking on a surface of captured night sky. Here and there, woven rugs lie scattered, so soft and thick they seem to be made of gathered moss or woven clouds. A fire burns in a large hearth along one wall, but the flames are unlike any fire you've seen before. They burn in shades of blue and silver and soft purple, giving off warmth but no smoke, light but no harsh glare. The fire seems to dance in time with some unheard music, swaying and flowing, hypnotic and endlessly soothing to watch. Comfortable chairs are arranged near the fire, deep chairs with high backs and soft cushions that look like they could embrace you, hold you, let you sink into complete relaxation. Low tables sit between the chairs, their surfaces covered with curious objects, small crystal spheres that contain moving clouds, hourglasses where the sand flows upward instead of down, candles that burn with flame in impossible colours, green and pink and pale gold, and everywhere more of that soft, gentle light, as if the very air inside this cottage is luminous. But your attention is drawn away from all of these wonders by a figure who stands near the hearth, waiting patiently, emanating a sense of calm so profound it seems to fill the entire cottage. This is the Dream Mage, and you know it instantly, the way you know things in dreams, with a certainty that requires no explanation or proof. He is elderly, though age seems to sit lightly on him, more like dignity than burden. His face is kind, deeply lined with what could only be smile lines and laugh lines, and the gentle creases that come from years of peaceful contentment. His eyes are extraordinary, deep and dark and filled with points of light, as if you're looking into a night sky rather than at human eyes. When he looks at you, and he is looking at you now with such warmth, such welcome, you feel truly seen, truly known, and more than that, truly accepted exactly as you are. His beard is long and silver, flowing down over his chest like a waterfall of moonlight. It seems to move slightly even when he's still, as if stirred by breezes only it can feel. His hair, equally long and silver, is pulled back from his face, and woven into it are small ornaments, tiny stars and moons, and other symbols you almost recognise but can't quite name. But it's his robes that truly capture your attention. They're made of deep blue fabric that seems to shift between solid cloth and drifting mist, between substance and shadow. And embroidered across every inch of those robes, stitched in threads that glow with their own light, are constellations. Not just the familiar ones you might know from the night sky, but others too, patterns and pictures made of stars, entire stories told in glowing thread. As you watch, the constellations seem to move slowly across the fabric, wheeling through their courses, the stars pulsing gently, making his robes a map of the heavens, a tapestry of night, a catalogue of all the dreams that stars have ever witnessed. At his belt hangs a lantern, and even before he touches it or lifts it, you know this lantern is important. You can feel its presence, its significance, the way you might feel the weight of an ancient artifact in a museum, something that has seen and held and meant so much across so many years. The lantern is made of what looks like brass or bronze, intricately worked with patterns that seem to shift and change when you're not looking directly at them. The metal is worn smooth in places from countless hands holding it, countless years of use, but it's cared for too, polished and treasured. The glass panels of the lantern, set into their metal frame, aren't clear. They're slightly translucent, slightly clouded, but not with dirt or age. They're clouded with something else, something that moves and swirls within the lantern like captured mist, like contained light, like imprisoned dreams. Colours flow through the glass, soft pastels that blend and separate and blend again, rose pink and pale blue, gentle lavender and soft green, warm gold and cool silver, all moving in a slow, endless dance. The Dream Mage smiles at you, and it's the kind of smile that makes you feel like everything is going to be alright, like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, like you're safe and valued and welcome. His voice when he speaks is exactly what you would expect from this extraordinary figure. It's deep but not loud, gentle but not weak, filled with warmth and kindness and an authority that comes from true wisdom rather than force or demand. "Welcome, dear traveller," he says, and even those simple words seem to carry layers of meaning, depths of comfort. "I've been expecting you. The path always brings those who need rest, those who are ready to lay down their burdens and embrace the peace of true dreams. Come, sit by the fire. You're tired. I can see it in the way you stand, in the heaviness you carry, though you try to hide it even here, even now. There's no need for that here, no need to be strong or capable or anything other than exactly what you are, a soul in need of rest." He gestures to one of the comfortable chairs near the fire, and you find yourself moving toward it, drawn by the promise of comfort, of rest. As you sink into the chair, and it's like sinking into a cloud, into the softest embrace imaginable, you feel something shift inside you. All the resistance you didn't know you were holding, all the tension you thought was just part of who you are, begins to dissolve. The chair seems to mould itself around you, supporting you perfectly, letting you relax completely, holding you safe. The Dream Mage settles into the chair across from you, moving with the slow grace of someone who has all the time in the world and knows there's no reason to hurry. The lantern at his belt chimes softly as he sits, a clear, pure note that seems to resonate in your chest, tuning something inside you to its frequency. He unclips the lantern and sets it on the low table between you, where it sits like a small sun, casting its swirling coloured light across both your faces. "Do you see this lantern?" he asks, though he's not really asking. His voice is soft, almost dreamy, the kind of voice that makes you want to close your eyes and just listen, letting the words wash over you like warm water. This is no ordinary light. This is the lantern of dreams, and it has been in my keeping for longer than there are words to measure, longer than calendars and clocks and any human reckoning of time. It has always been, and it will always be as long as there are dreams to gather and sleepers to gift them to. You watch the lantern as he speaks, mesmerised by the movement within it. Now that you're closer, you can see more details. The swirling colours aren't just colours, they're images, tiny scenes playing out in miniature, each one lasting only a heartbeat before dissolving into the general glow and being replaced by another. You see a child laughing in a field of flowers, a ship sailing on calm seas under a full moon, a bird taking flight from a high branch, a door opening onto a garden filled with light. Each image is peaceful, joyful, safe. Each one is a fragment of a good dream, a happy vision, a moment of pure contentment. For countless ages, the Dream Mage continues, his voice weaving around you like a soft blanket. I have travelled through the dreamlands, this realm where you find yourself now. I walk through the valleys and over the hills, through the forests of sleeping trees and across the rivers that flow with forgotten songs. And as I walk, I gather the dreams that float through this place like dandelion seeds on a summer breeze. I gather the peaceful dreams, the restful dreams, the dreams that heal and comfort and restore. He reaches out and places one weathered hand on the lantern, and at his touch it glows brighter for a moment, pulsing with warmth. Every dream of safety and every vision of joy, every sleeping thought of love and every resting imagination of peace, they all make their way here eventually. They drift through the dreamlands, and I collect them in this lantern, gathering them like fireflies, like falling stars, like precious jewels. The lantern holds them safely, keeps them warm, nurtures them, until the time comes to release them back into the night, to gift them to sleepers who need them, like you. As you watch, barely blinking now, your eyes heavy but captivated, you see more within the lantern. There are threads of light connecting the swirling images, creating patterns, telling stories. You see fragments of music represented as visible harmonies, notes floating through the coloured mist like glowing birds. You hear or think you hear soft melodies emanating from the lantern, lullabies without words, songs that speak directly to something deep inside you, something that has been yearning for rest, for peace, for an end to striving and struggling and pushing forward. The dreams within this lantern, the Dream Mage says, his voice dropping even lower, even softer, are more than just visions or stories. They are healing. They are medicine for weary souls. They are the gentle hands that soothe troubled brows, the soft voices that whisper that all will be well. Every person who sleeps, who truly sleeps and dreams, is touched by the contents of this lantern in some way. The dreams find their way out into the night, flowing through the spaces between waking and sleeping, finding the minds that need them most. He looks up from the lantern to meet your eyes, and his gaze is so kind, so understanding, that you feel seen in a way you rarely experience. You need them now, don't you? He asks gently. You need the rest, the peace, the escape into dreams. You need to set down whatever you've been carrying and simply be. Simply breathe. Simply sleep. And let the dreams do their work. You find yourself nodding, or maybe you don't move at all. Maybe you just think about nodding. But either way, the Dream Mage understands. He always understands. He knows why people find their way to his cottage, why the silver path brings them to his door. He knows the weight of worry, the exhaustion of existence, the deep hunger for true rest that drives souls to wander through the dreamlands in search of peace. Then come with me, he says, rising from his chair with that same fluid grace. There is something I do tonight, something I do every night, a ritual as old as sleep itself, and tonight you will join me. You will help me release a new collection of dreams into the night sky, where they will find their way to sleepers throughout all the realms, both this one and the waking world beyond. It will help you, I think, to participate in this giving, this sharing of peace. It will help you find your own rest. He picks up the lantern, and as he does, its light intensifies, bright enough to illuminate the entire cottage, bright enough that the shadows flee to the farthest corners and everything's bathed in that soft, swirling, multicoloured glow. You rise from your chair, and you feel almost reluctant to leave its comfort. But the Dream Mage extends his free hand toward you, and when you take it, his skin is warm and dry and reassuring, the hand of someone who has guided countless souls through the dreamlands, who knows every path and every danger and every place of beauty and rest. Together you walk toward the cottage door, which opens before you reach it, swinging wide to reveal the glowing hill and the valley beyond, all of it bathed now in a light different from before. Night has deepened in the dreamlands, if night can deepen in a place of eternal twilight, and the sky above is a riot of stars, more stars than you've ever seen, so many that they seem to merge into rivers of light, flowing across the darkness, painting the heavens with luminescence. You step out into this deeper night, and the air is cool now, refreshing rather than cold, carrying with it the scent of night-blooming flowers and distant rain and something else, something you can't quite name but that smells like peace, like contentment, like home. The Dream Mage moves beside you, still holding your hand gently, the lantern in his other hand, swinging slightly as he walks, its light creating a pool of warmth around both of you. He leads you down the hill, not the way you came up, but another path, one that winds through a part of the valley you haven't seen yet. As you walk and your feet barely seem to touch the glowing moss beneath them, the landscape reveals itself in stages, each turn of the path showing you new wonders. You enter a meadow where the grass has been replaced by flowers unlike any that grow in the waking world. They're luminescent, each bloom glowing with its own internal light, soft and steady, never flickering. The flowers are in every shade imaginable, from the palest cream to deep indigo, from soft pink to rich emerald. But all of their colours are muted, gentle, soothing rather than vibrant or demanding. They sway in the warm breeze, even though their stems are barely visible, as if the flowers themselves float just above the ground, tethered by the finest of threads. As you walk through this meadow of light, and the Dream Mage guides you along a path where the flowers part before you and close again behind you, you notice that each bloom seems to hum with a quiet sound, a single sustained note, and all the notes together create a harmony so beautiful, so perfect, that you feel it might break your heart if it weren't also somehow healing your heart at the same time. The flowers are singing, you realise, singing a song without words, a song that has been sung here since the first dream was dreamed, and will be sung until the last sleeper closes their eyes for the final time. These are the dream flowers, the mage tells you, his voice barely above a whisper, as if speaking too loudly might disturb their song. They grow from the dreams of children, the pure dreams untainted by worry or fear, dreams of wonder and discovery and joy. Each flower is a child's dream of flight, or magic, or adventure, or love. They bloom eternally here, creating this field of light and music, reminding all who pass through of the innocence we once knew, the simple happiness we once felt. You walk on and the meadow gradually gives way to something else. You hear water before you see it, the gentle sound of a flowing river, but the sound is different from ordinary water. It's musical, as if the river itself is singing, each ripple and current creating notes, each splash and burble adding to a melody that's constantly being composed and recomposed, never the same from moment to moment but always harmonious, always soothing. And then you see the river, and it takes your breath away. The water, if it is water, glows with a pale blue light, luminous and clear, and as it flows it creates shapes in the air above it, projections or illusions or something more real than either of those things. You see images forming in the mist that rises from the river, pictures and scenes and stories playing out in 3 dimensions, translucent and ghostly, but beautiful beyond measure. A woman sitting by a window, reading a book, 2 lovers meeting beneath a willow tree, an old man playing a violin, his eyes closed, lost in music, a cat curled before a fire, a child blowing bubbles that catch the sunlight. Each scene is peaceful, each one is a moment of simple contentment, and you realise these must be dreams too, or memories, or perhaps the two are the same thing here in the dreamlands. The river of lullabies, Bedouin, the Dream Mage says, stopping at the river's edge. It flows from the mountains of sleep, down through all the valleys of the dreamlands, and eventually empties into the sea of forgetting, where all difficult memories go to be softened and dissolved. But here, in its middle reaches, it sings of peaceful times and gentle moments. Many come to sit by this river and listen to its songs, letting the music wash away their troubles, letting the visions remind them of beauty and peace. You stand there for a moment listening, watching, letting the river's song flow through you. Your breathing has slowed without you noticing, falling into rhythm with the water's flow. Your heartbeat has steadied calm and strong. Every part of you feels more relaxed, more at peace, more ready to let go and drift into true rest. But the Dream Mage gently tugs your hand and you walk on, following him to a bridge that spans the singing river. The bridge is extraordinary, built not of wood or stone, but of condensed starlight, of solidified moonbeams. It arches across the water in a graceful curve, and its surface is smooth and slightly translucent, so you can see through it to the glowing water below. As you step onto the bridge, you notice that each footstep creates a soft chime, a clear note that hangs in the air for a heartbeat before fading, and the notes you and the Dream Mage create together form a simple melody, the song of two travellers crossing from one shore to another, from one state of being to another. The bridge sways gently with your weight, but it's not frightening. It's like being rocked in a cradle, like being gently bounced on a parent's knee, a motion that speaks of safety and care. Halfway across, the Dream Mage stops, and you stop with him, standing there together above the singing river, surrounded by the mist and its visions, while the stars wheel overhead in their eternal dance. "Look up," the mage says softly, and you do, tilting your head back to take in the full glory of the night sky above the dreamlands. It's magnificent. The stars are so numerous they seem to touch each other, creating patterns and pictures, entire stories written across the darkness. You see constellations you recognize and countless others you don't, all of them bright and clear, pulsing gently as if breathing, as if alive. "Every star you see," the mage continues, his voice full of wonder even though he must have seen this sight countless times, "is a dream someone is having right now, in this very moment, somewhere in the waking world. Every point of light is a sleeping soul, at rest, travelling through their own inner landscape. And the brightest stars, those ones there, and there, and there." He points with his free hand, indicating stars that shine with particular brilliance. Those are the deepest dreams, the most peaceful sleep, the souls who have truly let go and surrendered to rest. You stand there, gazing up, and the thought fills you with a strange comfort. You're not alone in your need for sleep, for rest, for escape into dreams. Across the world, across all worlds, countless beings are doing exactly what you're doing right now, closing their eyes, releasing the day, drifting into the embrace of night. You're part of something vast and ancient and beautiful, this nightly ritual of surrender, this daily practice of letting go. After a time, the Dream Mage leads you onward, off the bridge and onto the far shore of the singing river. The landscape here is different again, always changing, always revealing new wonders. You enter a grove of trees, but these aren't like the trees at the valley's entrance. These are older, larger, their trunks as wide as houses, their branches reaching so high they seem to hold up the very sky. Their bark is silver and smooth, and carved into it are symbols and sigils, writing in a language you almost understand but can't quite read. The language of dreams, perhaps, or the alphabet of sleep. The trees create a canopy overhead, their leaves, if they are leaves, filtering the starlight into dappled patterns on the ground, creating a play of light and shadow that shifts and moves, even though there's no wind. It's hypnotic, watching those patterns flow across the moss-covered ground, seeing shapes emerge and dissolve, faces and figures and abstract designs, a constantly changing art gallery, painted in light and dark. "The ancient grove," the mage says, his voice hushed, reverent. "These trees have stood here since before there were dreamers, since before there were minds to close and eyes to shut, and consciousness to slip away into visions. They are the original dreams, the dreams the universe had of itself before anything else existed. To walk among them is to touch the very foundation of rest, the primal peace from which all other peace flows." As you walk deeper into the grove, you notice that the trees are breathing. Their trunks expand and contract slowly, so slowly you might not notice if you weren't paying attention. But there it is, in and out, a breath that takes minutes to complete. And you find your own breathing matching theirs, slowing down to their pace, each breath lasting longer than the last, filling your lungs more completely, releasing more fully, until you're breathing the way you only breathe in the deepest sleep, slow and steady and peaceful. The path through the grove rises gently, so gradually you barely notice you're climbing, and then you emerge from the trees into an open space, a clearing that sits atop a small rise. And there, in the centre of the clearing, you see something that makes you catch your breath, that final deep breath before the full release into sleep. It's a well, but calling it just a well doesn't do it justice. The well is circular, built from stones that glow with their own soft light, each stone a different colour, creating a rainbow ring that pulses gently. The well is surrounded by more of those luminescent flowers from the meadow, hundreds of them, thousands of them, creating a ring of light and music around the structure. and rising from the well, drifting up into the air like steam, is a column of pure light, pale silver shot through with all the colours of dreams, rising up and up until it dissolves into the star-filled sky above. The dream well, the mage says, and his voice is filled with such affection, such reverence, that you know this place is sacred to him, is perhaps the most important place in all the dreamlands. This is the source. This is where dreams are born, where they bubble up from the deep earth, from the bedrock of sleep itself. This is where I come every night to release the dreams I've gathered, to send them up into the sky to let them find their way to those who need them. He leads you to the edge of the well, and you look down into it. The depth is impossible to determine. It might be 20 feet deep or 20 miles, the light within it creating an illusion of infinite space, of going down and down forever. The light swirls and eddies, creating patterns, showing you glimpses of dreams being formed, fragmentary visions that appear and vanish, a face, a place, an emotion made visible, all of it churning and mixing in the well's depths. An endless supply of raw dream stuff, waiting to be shaped and sent out into the night. The Dream Mage sets his lantern on the rim of the well, and it sits there, small against the vastness of the well itself, but somehow completely appropriate, as if this is where it was always meant to be. He places both hands on the lantern, one on each side, and closes his eyes. You watch as his lips move, speaking words you can't hear, perhaps words in that dream language carved on the ancient trees, perhaps words that exist beyond language entirely. And then slowly he opens the lantern's door. The tiny hinge panel swings open with a sound like a distant bell, and the light within the lantern changes, intensifies, becomes almost too bright to look at directly. But you don't look away. You can't look away, because what's happening is too beautiful, too wondrous, too perfect. The dreams begin to emerge from the lantern. They flow out like water, like mist, like living light. Each dream is individual, a sphere of glowing colour about the size of a soap bubble, and they drift up from the lantern in a steady stream, rising into the air with the gentle grace of bubbles blown by a child, floating upward with no hurry, taking their time, each one perfect and complete. Some dreams are golden, warm and bright, dreams of joy and celebration and love. Some are blue, cool and calm, dreams of quiet contentment and peaceful solitude. Some are pink, soft and gentle, dreams of tenderness and comfort and being held. Some are green, fresh and renewing, dreams of growth and healing and new beginnings. Some are purple, deep and mysterious, dreams of wonder and magic and discovery. And some are white, pure and simple, dreams of rest itself, of peaceful nothingness, of the blessing of empty, restorative sleep. Each dream sphere drifts upward, joining the column of light rising from the well, adding its own colour and essence to that ascending river of visions. As you watch, hundreds of dreams emerge from the lantern, then thousands. An endless stream of peaceful possibilities flowing out into the night. They rise higher and higher, and as they rise, they begin to spread out, drifting apart from each other, each one choosing its own path through the sky, each one seeking the sleeping mind that needs it most. The Dream Mage's face is serene as he watches, his eyes reflecting the countless colours of the ascending dreams. There's a deep satisfaction in his expression, the contentment of someone doing exactly what they were meant to do, fulfilling a purpose that goes beyond individual desire or ambition. This is his calling, his sacred duty, his gift to all who sleep, and he performs it with a devotion that's both humble and magnificent. Every night, he says softly, his voice barely audible over the soft music of the dreams as they rise, I release these dreams into the world. They find their way through the barriers between realms, slipping through the thin places where the dreamlands touch the waking world. They find the minds that need them, the sleepers who are struggling, the souls who are exhausted, the hearts that are heavy, and they bring rest, they bring peace, they bring the healing that only dreams can provide. As you stand there, mesmerized by the ascending dreams, you notice that some of them are drifting toward you. A small cluster of dream spheres, perhaps 5 or 6, break away from the main column and float gently in your direction. They circle around you slowly, orbiting you like tiny moons around a planet, each one glowing with its own soft light, each one singing its own quiet song, a note so high and pure you feel it more than hear it. The Dream Mage opens his eyes and turns to you, and there's something new in his expression now, something tender and knowing. They're choosing you, he says. The dreams know who needs them. They can sense weariness, exhaustion, the deep fatigue of body and soul, and they're drawn to it, not to feed on it, but to heal it, to soothe it, to carry it away and replace it with rest. He reaches out and gently cups one of the dream spheres in his hands, cradling it carefully, reverently. This one is special, he says. This one has been waiting in my lantern for a long time, waiting for exactly the right sleeper, and I believe I know that sleeper is you. The dream in his hands glows with a warm golden light, but as you look closer you see other colours swirling within it, subtle shades that blend and shift, creating patterns that remind you of what? Safety, home, love, all of these things and more, feelings you can't quite name, but that you recognise deep in your core, feelings you've been longing for without knowing you were longing for them. This dream, the mage continues, his voice low and soothing like a parent speaking to a child on the edge of sleep, contains everything you need for true rest. It holds peace and comfort and safety. It holds release from worry and freedom from fear. It holds the deep restorative sleep that heals not just the body but the spirit itself. This dream will carry you down into the most profound rest you've experienced in longer than you can remember. He extends his hands toward you, offering the dream, and you find yourself reaching out to accept it. The moment your fingers touch the glowing sphere, you feel a warmth spread through your entire body, starting at your hands and flowing up your arms, across your chest, down through your legs, all the way to the tips of your toes and the crown of your head. The warmth doesn't burn. It soothes. It relaxes. It melts away every last bit of tension you've been holding, even tension you've carried for so long you forgot it was there. The dream sphere dissolves as you touch it, but it doesn't disappear. It absorbs into you, into your skin, into your very being. You feel it settling somewhere deep inside you, finding a home in that space where dreams live, where rest resides, where peace makes its dwelling. And as it settles, you feel yourself changing, softening, letting go of whatever remaining grip you had on wakefulness and control, and the need to stay alert and aware. Your breathing deepens even more, so slow now, so peaceful. Each breath lasting an eternity, filling you completely and then releasing fully, a tide going in and out, with a rhythm as ancient as the ocean, as natural as the turning of the earth. Your heartbeat slows to match your breathing, steady and strong but calm, so calm. The beat of a heart at perfect rest, a heart that knows it's safe, that knows it can relax, that knows nothing is required of it right now, except to keep beating its slow, peaceful rhythm. Your body feels different now, lighter, softer, as if you're made of clouds or mist or moonlight rather than flesh and bone. Your limbs feel heavy in the most wonderful way, weighted down by relaxation, by complete and utter release of all effort. You couldn't move if you wanted to, but you don't want to. You want exactly what's happening, this gradual, gentle dissolution into peace, this slow sinking into the deepest rest. The Dream Mage is watching you with such kindness, such understanding. You feel it now, don't you? He asks, though it's not really a question. The dream taking hold, the rest claiming you, the peace wrapping itself around you like the softest blanket ever, woven. This is good. This is right. This is what you came here for, what the silver path was leading you toward all along. He reaches into his robe and pulls out something small, something that catches the light and glimmers. As he opens his hand, you see what it is. A tiny lantern, a perfect miniature of the larger one that still sits on the rim of the well, still releasing its stream of dreams into the night sky. This tiny lantern is no bigger than your thumb, made of the same bronze metal, with the same clouded glass panels, glowing with the same soft, swirling light. "This is for you," the mage says, pressing the tiny lantern into your palm, closing your fingers around it. The moment you hold it, you feel its warmth, its comfort, its promise. This is a charm, a token, a reminder. In the waking world, you won't remember it physically. You won't wake with it in your hand. But you'll remember it here. He touches your chest, right over your heart, and here, he touches your forehead gently. You'll remember that you've been to this place, even if the memory is faint and dreamlike. You'll remember that peace exists, that rest is real, that there's a place you can return to whenever you need it. The tiny lantern pulses in your hand, its rhythm matching your heartbeat. Or perhaps your heartbeat is matching its rhythm, you can't tell which, and it doesn't matter. What matters is the synchronization, the harmony, the sense of being perfectly aligned with something outside yourself, something ancient and wise and endlessly compassionate. Whenever you struggle to sleep, the mage continues, his voice wrapping around you like warm honey, like soft silk. Whenever your mind races and your body refuses to relax, whenever rest seems impossible and the night stretches endlessly before you, remember this lantern. Close your eyes and picture it in your mind. See its light, feel its warmth, hear its silent song, and it will guide you back here, back to the dreamlands, back to this place of perfect peace and rest. You want to thank him, to tell him how much this means to you, how desperately you needed this, but your lips feel too heavy to form words, your tongue too thick to shape syllables. But the Dream Mage just smiles, because he knows, he always knows. Words aren't necessary here. Gratitude is understood, felt, acknowledged, without needing to be spoken. "Come," he says gently, taking your free hand once more, his grip steady and reassuring. It's time to complete the journey. It's time to find your rest. He leads you away from the dream well, though you glance back once to see the dreams still rising, still flowing upward in their endless stream, still carrying peace to sleepers across all the realms. The sight fills you with a deep contentment, knowing that this happens every night, that this care and compassion and dedication to rest never stops, never falters, never fails. You walk together through the clearing, past the ring of glowing flowers that sing their wordless songs, and toward another path, one you haven't seen before. This path leads away from the well, winding through a landscape that seems to grow softer and quieter with every step. The light dims gradually, not toward darkness but toward that perfect twilight that exists just before. Sleep truly claims you. That liminal space where you're not quite awake and not quite asleep, suspended between states, floating in the gentle void. The sounds around you fade as well, growing more distant, more muffled, as if you're moving underwater, or as if the world is wrapping itself in cotton wool. The singing of the flowers becomes a gentle hum, barely audible. The chiming of distant bells grows so faint, you're not sure if you're hearing them or imagining them or remembering them. Even the Dream Mage's footsteps beside you make no sound now, or perhaps your ears have simply stopped registering such things, focusing instead on the internal sounds, the rhythm of your breathing, the beat of your heart, the soft rush of blood through your veins. The landscape itself transforms around you. The glowing moss beneath your feet becomes softer, thicker, more cloud-like. The trees, when you pass them, seem less substantial, more like shadows of trees, suggestions of trees, the idea of trees rather than actual wood and bark. The sky above, that magnificent star-filled expanse, begins to blur and soften, the stars spreading their light until they merge into a general luminescence, a soft glow that has no source and needs no source, that simply is. You realise you're ascending now, rising gently through the air though your feet still move as if walking on solid ground. Or perhaps the ground is rising with you, lifting you up like an elevator, like a cloud drifting skyward. It doesn't matter which. What matters is the sensation of floating, of being held and supported and carried, of surrendering completely to forces greater than yourself, forces that have your best interests at heart, that want nothing but your rest and peace and healing. The Dream Mage is still beside you, still holding your hand, his presence an anchor, a comfort, a reminder that you're safe, that you're guided, that you're cared for. His robes flow around him as you rise, the embroidered constellations on them glowing brighter now, or perhaps you're just more aware of them, more attuned to their light. The stars on his robes seem to echo the stars above, or perhaps the stars above are echoing his robes, the boundaries between them blurring, everything connecting, everything part of one vast cosmic dance of light and rest and dreams. "We're almost there," the mage says softly, his voice now seeming to come from inside your own head rather than from outside, as if he's become part of you, or you've become part of him, or you've both become part of something larger that contains and encompasses both of you, almost to the place where you can finally, fully, completely let go. And then, as if his words have made it manifest, you arrive. The landscape falls away entirely, or you rise above it, and you find yourself floating in a vast open space filled with soft billowing clouds. These aren't storm clouds, dark and threatening. These are the clouds of dreams, the clouds of sleep, soft and white and so inviting, so comfortable looking that every part of you yearns to sink into them, to be held by them, to dissolve into their softness and never, ever have to be solid or substantial or awake again. The clouds drift lazily through the space, moving with no apparent purpose, no destination, just existing, just being, just floating in eternal peace. Some are large, the size of beds or boats or rooms, perfect for resting on. Some are small, like pillows, like cushions. Some are shaped like creatures, like animals at rest, curled and peaceful. Others have no shape at all, just amorphous masses of comfort and softness. "Here," the Dream Mage says, and he gestures to a particularly large, particularly inviting cloud that drifts nearby. "This one is calling to you. This one wants to hold you, to cradle you, to give you the rest you need." The cloud floats closer, drawn by his gesture or by your own need, and you can see that it's perfect, absolutely perfect, exactly what you've been longing for without knowing you were longing for it. It's shaped like a nest or a hammock or a cocoon, curved and welcoming with high edges that will wrap around you and hold you safe. Its surface looks impossibly soft, softer than down feathers, softer than the finest silk, softer than anything that exists in the physical world. You reach out to touch it, and your hand sinks into the cloud stuff easily. And it's warm, so warm, body temperature warm, the warmth of being wrapped in perfect blankets on a cool night, the warmth of being held by someone you love, the warmth of safety and comfort and home. The cloud seems to pulse with welcome, seems to be inviting you, calling you, urging you to let go of the last tiny thread of awareness you're still holding on to, and just surrender, just sink, just sleep. "Go ahead," the Dream Mage says, and his voice is barely a whisper now, barely a breath, a suggestion of sound that you feel more than hear. "Climb in, let yourself be held, let yourself rest, everything else can wait. Everything else will still be there when you wake, refreshed and restored and healed. But for now, for these blessed hours of darkness, you belong to sleep. You belong to dreams. You belong to peace." And so you do. You let go of the Dream Mage's hand, though you know he's still there, still watching over you, still protecting and guiding even as he steps back. You climb onto the cloud and it's effortless, no struggle, no effort required. You simply think about being on it and you are, sinking into its softness, feeling it mould itself around your body, conforming perfectly to every curve, supporting every part of you, holding you in the gentlest, most complete embrace imaginable. You lie back, and the cloud rises up around you, not trapping you, but embracing you, creating a nest, a cocoon, a perfect space of safety and warmth and absolute comfort. Your head sinks into cloud stuff that's softer than any pillow. Your body is cradled by cloud stuff that's more supportive than any mattress. Your limbs are wrapped in cloud stuff that's warmer than any blanket. You feel held in a way you've never felt held before, completely supported, completely safe, completely free to let go of everything and just be. The tiny lantern you're still holding in your hand pulses once more, a final warm glow, and then its light becomes part of you, merging with your heart, settling into that deep place where dreams and peace reside. You don't need to hold it anymore. is part of you now, forever. A gift that can never be lost, a light that will never go out. A reminder that this peace, this rest, this profound relaxation is always available to you, always waiting, always ready to embrace you when you need it. The Dream Mage's voice comes one last time, so soft now it's almost imperceptible, a breath, a whisper, a thought rather than a sound. Sleep now, dear traveller. Sleep deep and dream well. Let the dreams I've released carry you through the night. Let them show you wonders and beauty and peace. Let them heal what hurts and soothe what aches and restore what's been depleted. You are safe here. You are held here. You are loved here. Sleep now, sleep. And you do. Oh, you do. Your eyes, which you hadn't even realised were still barely open, close completely, and the moment they do, the last tiny thread connecting you to awareness, to wakefulness, to the need to stay alert, snaps gently, releasing you, freeing you, letting you fall into sleep as if falling into warm water, into soft darkness, into the most welcoming embrace the universe has to offer. The cloud begins to drift, carrying you with it, floating through that vast space filled with other clouds, other dreamers, all of you suspended in this realm of perfect rest. You're aware, in some distant way, that other sleepers surround you, that you're part of a vast community of souls all seeking and finding the same peace you found. But they don't disturb you. Their presence is comforting rather than intrusive, a reminder that you're not alone, that everyone needs this, that rest is a universal need and a universal gift. As you drift, you become aware of the dreams arriving, the ones the Dream Mage released from his lantern, the ones that rose into the sky and spread out across the realms. They find you easily, drawn to you like fireflies to light, like bees to flowers. They settle around your cloud nest, dozens of them, hundreds of them, each one offering its own gift, its own vision, its own flavour of peace. One dream shows you a garden at sunrise, flowers opening to greet the light, birds singing their morning songs, the air fresh and clean and full of promise. Another dream takes you to the shore of a calm sea, waves lapping gently at white sand, the horizon stretching endlessly, the water reflecting the colours of sunset, pink and gold and lavender. Another dream places you in a cosy room with a fire burning in the hearth, rain falling softly outside, a book in your hands and warm tea nearby. The perfect sanctuary from the world. The dreams flow through you and around you, one blending into another, creating a continuous narrative of peace and beauty and comfort. You're not just watching these dreams, you're living them, experiencing them, being them. You walk through that garden and feel the dew on the grass beneath your bare feet. You stand on that shore and feel the warm breeze on your skin. You sit in that cosy room and feel the fire's warmth on your face. And through it all, underneath it all, you rest. You rest more deeply than you've rested in months, in years, perhaps in your entire life. Your body, your real physical body, wherever it lies in the waking world, releases every last bit of tension. Muscles you didn't know were tight finally, fully relax. Joints you've been unconsciously protecting let go and settle into natural alignment. Your jaw unclenches, your shoulders drop, your hands open, your feet relax. Every single part of you surrenders to rest. Your mind, that constant churning generator of thoughts and worries and plans and fears, finally, blessedly, quiets. The endless internal monologue fades to silence. The list-making and problem-solving and analysing and judging all stop. Your mind becomes like a still pond, like a cloudless sky, like an empty room filled with gentle light. Thoughts still come, but they're dream thoughts, flowing and changing, making their own strange sense, following their own peculiar logic, requiring nothing from you, no analysis or response or action. And your spirit, that deepest part of you that's so often neglected and ignored in the rush of waking life, that part that yearns for meaning and connection and peace, finally gets what it needs. Here in the dreamlands, wrapped in your cloud nest, held by forces of compassion and care, surrounded by healing dreams, your spirit expands and breathes and remembers what it feels like to be whole, to be at peace, to be enough exactly as you are. Time passes, but time has no meaning here. Minutes might be hours, or hours might be minutes, or perhaps time doesn't exist at all in this place. Perhaps there's only the eternal now, the endless present moment of rest and peace and healing. You drift deeper and deeper into sleep, passing through layers of consciousness, through the shallow waters of light sleep, into the profound depths of deep sleep, that restorative place where the body truly heals, where memories consolidate, where the very cells of your body renew themselves. And even deeper than that, down into the realm of dreaming sleep, where the subconscious takes over, where symbols and metaphors replace logic and reason, where you process emotions and experiences, where you work through what needs working through and release what needs releasing, all without the interference of your conscious mind, all guided by wisdom deeper than thought, older than words. The Dream Mage watches over you from a distance, his ancient eyes soft with compassion. He's guided countless souls to rest, countless sleepers to peace, but each one still moves him, still fills him with quiet joy. This is why he exists, why he walks the dreamlands with his lantern, why he gathers dreams and releases them night after night after night. For moments like this, for souls like yours finding the rest they so desperately need. He knows you'll wake eventually, when your body has had enough sleep, when dawn approaches in the waking world, when it's time to return to life and all its demands and challenges. But he also knows you'll wake different from how you went to sleep. You'll wake restored, refreshed, renewed. You'll wake with some part of you remembering this journey, even if the memory is vague and dreamlike. You'll wake with that tiny lantern still glowing somewhere deep inside you, a light that will never go out, a reminder that peace exists, that rest is real, that you can always find your way back here when you need to. And you will need to, he knows. Everyone does. Life is hard and exhausting and demanding, and everyone needs refuge, needs sanctuary, needs these hours of blessed unconsciousness when the world and all its troubles can be set aside. Everyone needs to walk the silver path into the dreamlands, to be held by cloud nests, to be visited by healing dreams, to remember what peace feels like. But for now, for these hours, you rest, you sleep, you dream, you heal. The cloud continues its gentle drift through the space between spaces, carrying you on your journey through the night. Other dreams come and go, offering their visions and their gifts. The stars wheel overhead in their eternal dance. The silence of deep sleep surrounds you like a protective cocoon. And gradually you don't even notice it happening. The quality of your sleep begins to shift. The dreams become lighter, less vivid. Your awareness, which descended so deeply into the realm of unconsciousness, begins its slow ascent back toward the surface. Your body, fully rested now, restored and healed, begins to prepare itself for waking. But it's a gentle preparation, no urgency, no alarm, just a slow, natural progression from one state to another. The cloud nest that holds you begins to thin, to dissolve, its work complete. You've been held long enough, rested deeply enough, healed sufficiently. Now it releases you with the same gentleness with which it embraced you, letting you drift free, letting you float in that space just below waking, that lovely liminal place where you're still in the dreamlands but preparing to return to the world. The landscape of dreams shifts around you, becoming less defined, less substantial. The vivid gardens and peaceful shores and cozy rooms fade into general impressions, feelings rather than places, memories rather than experiences. The vast space filled with clouds and other sleepers begins to dim, to recede, to become background rather than foreground. And there, as if he never left, as if he's been waiting patiently for exactly this moment, is the Dream Mage. He appears beside you, his kind face smiling, his constellation-covered robes glowing softly in the fading dreamlight. He reaches out and takes your hand once more, his grip warm and reassuring, a final connection before you have to leave this place and return to the waking world. "Well done," he says softly, his voice filled with approval and affection. "You rested well, you surrendered completely, you let yourself be held and healed and restored. This is what everyone needs, but not everyone manages. Some fight against sleep even here, even in the dreamlands, but you trusted, you let go. And look at you now, renewed and ready to face whatever comes. You want to stay longer, to remain in this place of peace and comfort." And he sees that desire in your eyes, in the way you hold onto his hand. He smiles with understanding. "I know," he says. "Everyone wants to stay, but the waking world needs you, life needs you, and you need life too, with all its challenges and joys, its sorrows and celebrations. The dreamlands are for rest, for healing, for temporary refuge, but life is where you grow, where you learn, where you become who you're meant to be." He reaches up and places his free hand on your forehead, a gesture of blessing, of farewell, of sending forth. "Remember," he says, his voice taking on a quality of command, of authority that comes from timeless wisdom. "Remember that you are always welcome here. The silver path will always appear when you need it. The dreamlands will always embrace you when you're ready to rest. And I will always be here, walking these valleys with my lantern, gathering dreams and releasing them, caring for sleepers, guiding souls to peace." His hand on your forehead is warm, growing warmer, and that warmth spreads through your entire being, filling you with a sense of blessing, of being cared for, of being seen and valued and sent forth with love. "Go now," he says gently. "Return to your life, but carry this peace with you, carry the memory of rest, and whenever the world becomes too much, whenever you're overwhelmed or exhausted or depleted, close your eyes and remember. Remember the cloud nest, remember the dreams, remember the lantern glowing inside you, and let that memory guide you back to peace, even in the midst of chaos." The warmth from his hand intensifies, becoming light, bright golden light that envelops you completely, and you feel yourself being lifted, carried, transported. The Dream Mage's face fades from view, but his smile remains, lingering in the light, a final reassurance, a final blessing, a final gift of love before you go. The dreamlands dissolve around you, all of it flowing away like mist in morning sun, like dreams upon waking, leaving behind only impressions, only feelings, only the deep knowledge that something profound and healing has occurred. The vast spaces and floating clouds, the singing river and glowing meadow, the dream well and the ancient trees, all of it recedes, returns to that place beyond waking reach, that realm that exists only in sleep, only in dreams, only in the blessed hours of rest. And you rise, floating upward through the layers of consciousness, through the depths of deep sleep toward the shallower waters of light sleep, toward the surface of waking. But you rise gently, slowly, naturally, like a bubble rising through water, like a seed sprouting toward light, without force or struggle or jarring transition. You rise with the knowledge that you've been somewhere important, somewhere healing, somewhere you can return to whenever you need it. The silver path appears beneath you once more, but now it's leading you back, guiding you home to your body, to your bed, to the waking world that awaits. You follow it, or it carries you, and as you travel you notice the light changing, growing gradually brighter, warmer, more like the light of day than the light of dreams. Sounds begin to filter in, distant at first but growing closer. The sounds of the waking world, cars passing, birds singing, the hum of electricity, the subtle noises of life going on all around. Your body becomes present to you again, no longer a distant concern but an immediate reality. You become aware of lying down, of the softness beneath you, the covering over you, the pillow under your head. You become aware of your breath moving in and out, steady and slow and peaceful. You become aware of your heartbeat, strong and calm, the beat of a heart that has truly rested, truly recovered, truly been restored. But you don't wake yet. Not quite. You linger in that beautiful space between sleeping and waking, that threshold moment when you're aware but not yet active, conscious but not yet engaged with the world. You linger because it feels good, because you're so comfortable, so relaxed, so at peace. You linger because some part of you knows that once you open your eyes and rise and begin your day, this perfect rest will be over and you'll have to wait for night to fall again before you can return to such peace. So you stay there, breathing slowly, resting deeply, holding on to the feeling of being in the dreamlands just a little while longer. The memory of the Dream Mage's face hovers in your mind, kind and wise and eternally patient. The sensation of floating on the cloud nest lingers in your body, that feeling of being perfectly held, perfectly supported, perfectly safe. The glow of the tiny lantern pulses somewhere inside you, warm and comforting, a light that will never fade, a gift that can never be taken away. And as you lie there in that perfect state of rest, I want you to know something. I want you to really hear this and let it settle into your heart. You did this. You found rest, you surrendered to sleep. You let yourself be held and healed. And you can do it again, tonight and every night, whenever you need it. The dreamlands are real. Not in the physical sense perhaps, but in the way that matters most. They're real in the sense that rest is real, that peace is real, that healing is real. The Dream Mage exists, perhaps not as a physical being you could touch, but as an aspect of the universe's care for all living things, as the personification of rest itself, as the guardian of all who sleep. And his lantern glows on, night after night after night, releasing dreams, gathering peace, offering comfort to all who need it. You are safe. You are rested. You are restored. And whenever you close your eyes to sleep, whether tonight or any night in your future, remember this journey. Remember the silver path and the glowing valley. Remember the singing river and the floating clouds. Remember the feeling of being held by the cloud nest, surrounded by healing dreams, blessed by the Dream Mage. Remember that rest is your birthright, that peace is available to you, that sleep is a gift the universe offers freely to all who will accept it. Remember that you don't have to earn rest or deserve peace. You simply have to allow it, to receive it, to trust that you're safe enough to let go and drift into the healing darkness of sleep. And now, if you're listening to this as you prepare for sleep, let yourself continue drifting. Let yourself sink deeper into rest, knowing that you're held, knowing that you're safe, knowing that dreams are waiting to visit you, that the night will pass in peace and healing, that you'll wake refreshed and renewed, ready to face whatever comes. But before I leave you to your dreams, before I step back and let the silence of sleep embrace you completely, I want to thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me to guide you on this journey. Thank you for letting yourself be vulnerable enough to rest, to surrender, to seek peace in the midst of a chaotic world. If this story, this journey, this meditation on rest has helped you in any way, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. There are more stories waiting here, more journeys to take, more peaceful places to explore. Each one is crafted with care, with the intention of helping you find rest, of guiding you to sleep, of offering you sanctuary from the demands of waking life. And if you feel moved to do so, press that like button, leave a comment sharing your experience, let me know if this helped you rest. Your feedback helps me create more content like this, more stories to guide other weary souls to peace, more journeys through the dreamlands for all who need them. But most importantly, whatever you choose to do about subscribing or liking, I want you to rest. I want you to sleep deeply and dream well. I want you to wake tomorrow feeling better than you feel now, more rested, more peaceful, more ready to face your life with energy and hope and strength. The Dream Mage's lantern glows on. The dreams continue their nightly journey from the dreamlands to the waking world. The cloud nests drift through the spaces between sleep and waking, ready to embrace all who need them. And you, dear traveller, are always welcome to return, to walk the silver path again, to find your rest in that place of perfect peace. So close your eyes now. Let your breathing deepen. Let your body sink into complete relaxation. Let your mind quiet and still. Let yourself drift, float, fall into sleep as if falling into the gentlest embrace. Let the dreams find you. Let the peace claim you. Let the healing begin. Sleep well, dear traveller. Dream well, rest deeply, and know that you are held, you are safe, you are loved. The Dream Mage watches over you still. His lantern glows on, and all is well, all is well, all is well. Sleep now, sleep.